I don't know why you had to go in the first place.
He was Mel and Kieran's dad.
Well, so let them go.
I wanted to be there to support them.
Haven't they got partners for that?
Well, yes, but sometimes they still need their mum.
Oh, I do despair of that generation sometimes. Are they really so weak?
It's not weak to want your mum, Mum.
Oh, my mother was dead by the time I was 10.
Yes, Mum.
I got on with things, made my own life.
I know.
I didn't curl up in the corner snivelling like a little Nancy boy.
Please don't use that language, Mum.
What language?
Nancy boy.
Oh, it's just a silly old phrase.
It's offensive, Mum.
Oh, for goodness sake, you can't say anything nowadays.
And yet you still do.
Offensive to whom?
Well, Kieran, for one.
Well, he's not even here.
That's not the point. You shouldn't just stop using the language when he's around. You should stop using it full stop. It's all part of this, oppression and what have you.
Oh, nonsense. They ought to toughen up. What are they going to do out in the real world?
They are in the real world. In fact, they're going to have a baby.
Who is?
Kieran and Michael.
Oh, doling out miracles on the NHS now, are we?
No, they're adopting.
Oh, poor kid.
Excuse me?
Well, Michael is nice enough, I suppose. Certainly more than Kieran could have expected, I imagine. Doctor, isn't he? Live and let live, I say. But you know as well as I do, it's not right for a child.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, come on, Carol. It's all very well for these ridiculous celebrities to go playing happy families, but us mere mortals have to have something more practical. I mean, a child has to have a mother and a father.
We didn't.
You most certainly did.
No, we had you. Dad was either at work or else down the Legion, and by the time Jackie came along, well, I think he spent more time at Mrs. Aspinall's than he did at ours. I'm surprised Jackie even got conceived.
How dare you talk like that? How do I turn this thing off?
No, Mum, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Look, please, can we just talk?
Wretched device. It doesn't even stop when you pull the plug out. Fine, go ahead. Just twist the knife.
Mum, no, I don't. Let's just forget it.
How dare you speak to me like that?
I know, Mum, I'm sorry. Look, I didn't call to argue.
Well, then why did you call?
Just to say hello, really.
Oh, the great conversationist as always.
Mum.
What do you want, Carol?
How are you?
Fine. Sunshine and lollipops, moonbeams and fairy tales.
Did Lois pop by on Friday?
Oh, that ridiculous drip of a woman. Yes, how did you know?
She said she might.
So you arranged that?
No, I...
And I suppose that ridiculous spider plant was your doing as well, was it?
Well, she said hers was sprouting and she didn't have room for any more. So she said she was thinking of popping around to see you. And I said that sounded like a lovely idea.
Oh, Carol, you could at least learn to lie convincingly.
I'm not lying.
Palming off your guilt for not visiting me onto that simple-minded busybody while you swan off down to your ex-husband's funeral. It's pathetic, it really is.
I just thought you might miss someone coming in on a Friday. That was all.
I am perfectly self-sufficient.
I know. I just thought with me being away, it would be nice if someone would drop by.
Especially as you dragged your sisters down there with you. There was absolutely no reason at all for them to be there.
I didn't know Jackie and Max were going. I only found that out by the Wednesday when I got to Mel's, and I couldn't exactly just turn around and say you can't come, could I?
Well, I don't see why not. You divorced that man years ago. There was no need for them to be involved in it at all.
They liked Matthew, Mum.
Oh, well, it takes all sorts, I suppose.
Yes, Mum.
Well, I still find it strange.
Well, it's good you didn't come then, isn't it?
And don't take a sarcastic tone with me, young lady. You're not too old to put across my knee, you know.
Well, I really am, Mum. And besides, you're 40 miles away.
Good, whose fault is that?
It's no one's fault, Mum.
Oh, you would say that.
We agreed, all of us, you and me and Jackie and Mags, that old place was getting too much for you.
I am not an invalid, Carol.
No one said you were.
Oh, you still carted me off to this godforsaken pit.
Nobody carted you anywhere, Mum. I can't have this conversation again.
Oh, no, of course not. No, hide the old woman away and then don't listen to her.
Peggy.
Don't you dare Peggy me. You just watch that smart mouth of yours. Mum is bad enough. What's wrong with Mother, I don't know, but we do not refer to our parents by their Christian names in this family. Is that clear?
Yes, Mum.
Pardon?
Yes, Mum.
Good.
So, how was your week, besides Lois?
You don't have to pretend you care just to assuage your guilt, Carol. I am perfectly fine. I'll leave the neediness to the younger generation, thank you.
I'm not assuaging anything. I'm interested, Mum. How was your week?
Oh, yes, an absolute riot.
Well?
There was bingo in the hall on Monday.
Bingo? That sounds fun.
Does it? I mustn't have said it right.
Well, then why did you go?
Because that great oaf Lawrence collared me as I was taking out the recycling on Saturday afternoon. I swear I checked the coast was clear, but he'd accidentally dropped his wallet in the azaleas, apparently. I must have looked out the very second he bent down to pick it up.
Well, I'm sure you could have said no.
Oh, well, I did try, but, you know, he looked at me with those great baleful eyes of his. Oh, Mrs. Douglas, do come. It'll be so lovely to have a bit of class in the room.
It's amazing what a little flattery will do.
Oof, flattery nothing. Have you ever tried kicking a puppy?
You old softy.
Ooh, a momentary lapse, I can assure you.
Wasn't the bingo in the least bit fun at all?
20 arthritic old codgers hunched over a bunch of fold-out tables with a felt tip the size of a small child and a 50-year-old failed actor in purple lurex campus Christmas calling out the numbers as if he was auditioning for the local Amdram production of Les Mis. Oh, yes, darling, it was marvellous.
Well, still, something a bit different.
Oh, if different were a valid criterion for doing anything, the world would be a very sorry place, Carol, I assure you.
Well, next time it won't be different, will it? So there you go.
Oh, well, I shan't be going again.
What if Lawrence asks you again?
Oh, well, then I shall just have to kick the puppy.
Oh, you're awful.
So I've been told.
I do love you, Mum.
Oh, Carol, don't go getting all sentimental.
But I do. I really love you.
Yes, well, that's all very well, but there's no need to go blurting it out all over the place now, is there?
Yes, Mum.
No wonder Melanie and Kieran still need you to hold their hands.
Yes, Mum.
Right, well, I must be off. There's a new serial starting at 2:00 with that lovely Sanjeev Bhaskar, and it takes me 10 minutes to go to the bathroom nowadays.
Okay, Mum. Well, enjoy.
You will keep me updated on the boys and that ridiculous scheme, won't you?
What scheme?
Kieran and Michael, that adoption nonsense.
Of course.
Tell them I think it's a bad idea.
Mum?
Well, I suppose I could tell them myself if they ever bother to come round.
You bloody well better not.
Carol, language.
Language yourself. Don't you dare tell my boy he's not allowed to have a child.
Fine, but on your head be it.
There's no one's head for it to be on. They'll be amazing parents. Better than you and Dad, that's for sure. Better than me and Matthew, for that matter.
Oh, well, we shall just have to wait and see, I suppose. But, nobody ever gets parenting right, Carol. We're all just making it up as we go along.
That was very nearly a compliment.
Oof, I think you must have misheard.
Yes, Mum.
Oh, Carol.
Yes, Mum?
Will you pick me up another P.D. James on the library on Friday?
Will I see you on Friday?
Won't you?
Yes, Mum. What happened to the one I got you 2 weeks ago?
Oh, well, I realised I'd already read it. You obviously forgot to tick it off the list.
I always tick it off the list.
Well, you must have forgotten to this time.
Yes, Mum.
Oh, maybe something by that Minette Walters. I quite fancy something a bit grisly.
OK, Mum. You'll miss your show.
Oh, yes. Look, will you hang up, Carol? Because this blasted thing still won't turn off, whatever I do.
OK, Mum. Bye.
Yes,
Bye.
yes, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Silly old bag.